Democrats, brace yourselves because this video includes something that you're probably not going to want to hear today. Morning Joe just broadcasted a major warning about a decision that is paramount to our democracy, a decision that appears to be a tipping point in Trump's favor, and I have the breakdown for you next. Let's begin by diving into the context for this breaking story. Then I'll reveal the move that has Democrats worried and Trumpers celebrating. Tulsi Gabbard will face a committee vote today, and if she passes, her nomination will advance to the Senate floor for confirmation. Here's the Morning Joe team sharing their utter disgust that she's even under consideration.
She's not qualified to the job. She's been, shall we say, consistently wrong in her judgments. And the idea that she might be confirmed for this is another disappointment, and it's a head shaker.
She also has endorsed the Russian view of the war in Ukraine, among many other things that people are concerned about. But
Tulsi Gabbard handled her relationship with the butcher of Syria, Assad, responsible for the murder of 500,000 Syrians also, who used chemical weapons against his own people, or again, Edward Snowden, where she refused to condemn Snowden in one question after another question after another question.
So why are extremists like Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Kash Patel this close to being nominated in spite of their sketchy histories and lack of qualifications? One word, and it's fear. Have a listen to this chilling explanation of how the voting members are influenced before Morning Joe sounds the alarm about this vote and does a deeper dive into the fear Republicans are facing.
Some members of Congress that I've spoken to said, listen, it's not just the primarying that we have to worry about. It's actually our own personal safety that we now have to worry about. I have to worry about the safety of my spouse, the safety of my children, if I defy Donald Trump. And when you've got Don Jr. coming out very forcefully and saying, we want all of these to be a yes, there is no exception for Tulsi Gabbard, there is no exception for Bobby Kennedy, he is speaking for the MAGA base. And literally I've had members of Congress say, look, you know, you do have to worry in this day and age, you have to worry about your own safety as well. It's not just the primarying factor.
And now for the alarm sounded by Morning Joe. The margin is so slim on the confirmation votes that Democrats need a few Republicans to push through their fear, find a place of intellectual honesty, and toss these nominees on the Donald Trump dung pile of rejects. But swinging the vote on Gabbard is now less likely because a key Republican holdout just folded to the fear and political pressure.
Well, there's an old saying in soccer, in English football, it's the hope that kills you.
Yeah.
I suspect they have a similar saying in Maine about Susan Collins. It's a hope that kills you. Right? Susan Collins, supposedly a traditional Republican, there is no way she would ever vote for Tulsi Gabbard except for political expediency and fear. Is there, Richard? I'll put that in question form.
Thank you for that rhetorical question, Joe. No, what comes to mind, Joe, is remember Abba Eban, the former Israeli foreign minister, and he once famously said about Palestinians, they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Well, Susan Collins never misses an opportunity to disappoint. She's a serial disappointer. And Tulsi Gabbard rarely misses an opportunity to get it wrong.
But the thing that has the common thread for all of the people that we talk about during these confirmation battles, whether it's Joni Ernst with Pete Hegseth, Tom Tillis with Pete Hegseth, Bill Cassidy for RFK Jr., Susan Collins for Tulsi Gabbard, the common thread is all of these people are going to be on a ballot in 2026. Some of them have already received primary challenges, but that threat is something that comes up in every conversation that I have with my sources on the Hill about this. The politics looms so large over everything. Elon Musk and the millions that he could throw into a primary challenge, others who can ignite the MAGA base online and direct their ire at some of these senators. All of that is factored in, and it really is a sign of how palpable the politics of a primary is in this MAGA era. And frankly, as much as we talk about Trump and Elon's relationship and its potential to fray or fracture, this is actually one of the things that continues to work in Elon Musk's favor within the Trump administration, is that he, in addition to the work that he's trying to do in government, is also the guard dog of the MAGA agenda, because he can leverage millions at primary challenges. And all of that is in the mix here on Capitol Hill.
And guys, I was on the Hill last Thursday during that day where they had hearings all happening at once for Kennedy and Patel and Tulsi Gabbard. And they were talking to congressional aides. The thing is, it's about the math. What's so hard for these Republican senators is being that one vote who can be blamed. It's hard to be that fourth vote if you are assuming that Collins and Murkowski and McConnell, who showed a willingness to defy Trump, are going to be three. Now, in Tulsi Gabbard's case, Susan Collins didn't even get there, though we know there are some other Republican senators who have real concerns about her. We're watching Todd Young from Indiana as well. But the issue is, it's so hard to do it with four. And these aides were saying what they would really need would be a bunch of senators to come together to say no. So therefore, it could be 5, 6, 7, or 8. And therefore, that one person doesn't get all the blame, and potentially that Elon Musk-backed primary challenge.
The danger.
Well, and let's again underline what Kathy just said. Members of Congress are telling her that they're not only afraid of primary challenges, they're afraid of violence. They're afraid of violence if they vote against people who are unqualified to run the most important agencies in America.
That's definitely not how it's supposed to work.
The fear the Morning Joe team just explained shows how easily corruptible our system currently is. It is mind-boggling to think that a madman and his son can make threats against members of his own party and be backed up by another madman with money to burn. That sounds like a criminal enterprise to me. And shame on the politicians who lack backbone and capitulate under the pressure. I don't care if Elon Musk does finance your opponent in the next election. Be exactly who you are, vote out of integrity, and let the chips fall where they may. Your legacy should be one of service and conviction, not one of survival and longevity. If you don't have the backbone, step aside for someone who does. We already knew that our system was deeply flawed, but it took corrupt souls like Trump and Musk to show us that it is rotten to the core. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Please drop your thoughts below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.